Hi P1G, today in Mrs. Grace's kitchen, Ben, as you know is Mrs. Grace's son, is going to be making banana cake. So we've got this packet mix here from the shop, banana bread, and so what he's done so far is he tipped the packet, there was a packet inside, he's tipped the packet into the bowl, he has mashed up the banana, and he's got his pan ready. This is a special pan, it's called a loaf pan, so it's going to make it a rectangle shape. That goes in there. So next, Ben, you need to get the oil. Can you use the purple cup? That's it, and we're going to use 125 mils of oil. So when we're using measuring, this is something we'll do a little more time in the classroom. This is a measuring cup, okay? It's going to measure how much I need, okay? So Ben, we need a whole one of those. Are you able to grab the oil bottle? Hold it really careful. How about I hold the cup for you, and you tip the oil in until it gets to the top. No, it's better off to do it down here. Or would you like me to help you? Would you prefer me to hold it up there if you like? Then we'll just angle it. That's it. Good job. Just do it gently. This oil is going to make our cake nice and light and fluffy. Up to the edges, a bit more. That's it. We put the lid back on because we don't want to spill because oil will make a mess. That's it. So what we need to do is something called making a well in the middle. We do that because it helps put all our wet ingredients into the bowl. So we just do a little bit of a hole. It's like digging in the sandpit, isn't it? Excellent, Ben. So can you pour the oil into that hole in the middle, please? Excellent. Until it's all in. Give a little bit of a shake, shake, shake. Don't tap on the bowl though. You can tap on the purple container, that's fine. But don't tap on the bowl because if we start that habit, then later on when we're trying to keep the air in our cake so it's light and fluffy, it will come out. Okay, next, let's read the back. So on the back of our box, it tells us what we need to do. See, that's what we call the method or what we need to do. Okay, so next it says, I'll read it, and Ben, you have to do the next job. So it says now to put the mashed banana in. So here Ben peeled 2 bananas, and can you grab your fork, Ben, and just give that a bit more of a mash? So we're just squishing it down because if it's mashed, it's going to help it spread out in the cake. If we left it whole, not everyone would get a taste of the banana. So now, Ben, can you tip that and scrape it in to the middle of the, right where the oil was. All of it needs to go in. That's it. Make sure it all goes in. That's it. And then just put the fork back on the plate and I'm back on the bench and we'll wash it up later. Okay, just leave it on the bench. That's it. Okay, next, let's see. To read the ingredients, we need 125 mils of milk. That's exactly the same amount we use for oil in this purple container. So maybe leave the container on the bench, it might be a bit easier, but just hold the bottle with 2 hands. That's it. We're going to pour the milk in. And stop. That's it. Lid back on the milk. Whoa, that's pretty full. Would you like me to put that in for you? Or do you want to give that a go?
I'll do it.
Okay. So super duper carefully, because that's super duper full. Whoa. Doesn't matter, that's a bit spilt. There you go, good job. Then put the container back on the bench. Don't worry about that mess. Let's use this little bit of paper towel we had here just so we don't put our hands in it. Okay, next we need to use 2 eggs. Okay, so when we crack our eggs at Mrs. Grace's house, I always like to check them because one time I had an egg that wasn't very yummy. It was a bit off and it made my whole meal yucky. So Ben, can you crack this egg into this cup, please? So what we do is we are going to put the egg, so tap, tap, tap into the bowl. That's it. Okay, and then pop that onto the paper towel.
Don't want to get it.
Let's have a look. Yep, it looks good. So we actually give it a smell. Mrs. Grace will smell it, so hold on. Yep, if your egg isn't any good, it will smell really gross. Can you tip that into What's wrong, buddy?
There's a bit of shell there on the left side.
Okay, grab a spoon and I'll help. So Benny, when he cracked it in there, got a tiny bit of shell in there. And as we know, shells are a bit hard. So if we had to eat that, it wouldn't hurt us, but it would be crunchy in our mouth, and that would be kind of gross. Okay, fixed. Okay, can you pop that egg into the bowl now, Ben, please? Well done. Now can you do one more? We needed 2 eggs altogether. Probably better to crack it on the bench, not on the cup, because you're only going to get the shell into it. Now, crack it back to where you just used it. Crack there, one more, and now into the cup. Sometimes cracking it on the edge of the cup can actually get the shell into the container, and we don't want that to happen. So let's tip that down. Let's check it out. I don't see any shell. It looks pretty good. Let me give it a smell. Excellent. Into the bowl, please, Ben. Okay, so it has asked for eggs. We've done that. Oil, yep. Milk and mashed banana. Now we are to stir it up. So grab your wooden spoon, Ben. We're going to give it a stir. That's it. Now you have to stir it really well, otherwise your cake won't cook very evenly. It'll have like chunks of dry ingredients, which is the stuff that came out of that packet, and it won't be super delicious. So we'll give Ben a bit of a stir first, and then Mrs. Grace will have a turn. Being a banana bread, we won't put icing on this cake, but what we will do is sprinkle some brown sugar on the top, because that'll make a nice crust on the top, which is sweet and a bit crunchy, and it makes it taste super delicious. Are you ready for me to have a go, mate?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's swap jobs. I'll get Ben to hold on to the camera for me. So Ben, can you keep that on the bowl, please, so we can see it mixed together? Okay, sometimes when I get to have a go and help Ben do it, because if we have a look, can you see that dry ingredients now? What's happened is it wasn't quite picked up off from the bottom, but because I've been cooking for a long time, I know that this has to happen. Ben's learning how to cook. Just like you can learn how to cook with your mum and dad at home, if they have time. If there's lots of kids in the house, sometimes that makes it tricky for mums and dads to have time to help everyone have a turn at something like this. At my house, it's just Mrs. Grace and Ben's dad, and our dog Bailey. So Bailey doesn't want to have a turn. Okay, so what we need to do now, I'm going to take that off your Ben and you can have a turn. We're going to pour this cake mix into, I'll just move the milk out the way, into the baking dish. Now we have used this special paper to stop it from sticking or getting stuck in the dish, in the baking pan, because if it gets stuck, it can really ruin your cake and it can make it hard to get out when it's finished cooking. Okay, we have made sure that our oven is on, so I'll show you that. Look, our oven is on, it's getting warm. You have to put a cake into a warm oven. Do you need me to pour that in for you, or would you like to give it a go?
I can do it.
Okay, so that stays, just pop your spoon on the side here, that's okay. And I'm going to tip. I might need to get you a spatula as well. A spatula is like a special scraper that helps. Oh, Ben, make sure it stays in the bowl, mate. And it stays into the container, I should say. Would you like to hold it and I'll scrape it?
Okay.
Okay. And we want to get all of it out so we're not wasting any ingredients. Good job. It's taking a lot of muscles. What I might do is just grab that spatula. So hold on there for a second. Maybe put your bowl down for a minute. And I'll get you a spatula. So I've got one in my drawer. Let's look for a spatula. Here it is. This is a spatula. It's got a straight edge and a curved edge. It lets us scrape off all the cake. See how easy that is? It just scrapes it off. So we're going to scrape all the ingredients down so we don't waste any, and it'll help Ben then get it out of the bowl more easily. So let's scrape the spoon too, Ben. Okay, turn it around the other way for me, please. There we go. Look, it takes off. It does a really good job. Pop that in the sink, please, Ben. The spoon, we don't need that anymore. We might get Ben to pick the bowl up again, and I'll help scrape it into the pan for him. So you pick up the bowl for me, please, mate. Okay, so we scrape, and as I scrape, you can see how cleanly it gets all the ingredients off the bowl, so I'm not wasting it. And then Ben gets to have a bigger banana cake by making sure, or banana bread, to make sure it all goes in.
And never eat it before it's not cooked, because there'll be raw egg.
That's right. When you've got, that's exactly right. That's good remembering. If it's got in a cake that's got raw egg in it, sometimes egg that's not cooked can make you feel a bit sick. So you do have to be careful of that. I'm just going to use my spatula gently. Ben, can you get the brown sugar out, please, mate? It's in a big rectangle container on the left side, kind of behind that one, mate. Benny's just over there in the cupboard, getting it out. And if I evenly spread the cake around, it will cook better. If I had a whole stack at one end of my tin and nothing, hardly anything at the other end, it wouldn't cook evenly. No, we're looking for, leave that one there for now, that's okay. Grab out it's a big container with a black lid. Okay, and when you're cooking, you must clean up your mess. So we're going to put our mess over here near the sink. So we'll just, while Ben's getting the sugar out. Excellent, buddy. Can you grab, I'll get you a spoon. We can just, we can put that stuff away later if you like, mate, so we can do this job. No, we don't need that. Ben just tried to put chocolate chips into his banana cake, and I said, no, not this time. Shh. That was Ben's dad. He likes to have chocolate all the time, and he's not getting it this time. Ben, come here, buddy. So we're going to, brown sugar can be quite stuck together. Can you see that, lumps? It looks like sand, doesn't it? But it is super delicious. I love brown sugar. So I have to loosen it up a bit. There you go. So if you could, Ben's just going to get some like that, my friend, and you're going to sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle over the cake. So if you see it sideways, that's it. Bit of sprinkling, bit more. Into a space we don't have any yet. Okay, maybe one more smidge, and then I'll help you share it out. That's it. And maybe a bit more over there. That's good. It's like spreading out the sand in the sandpit to make it flat for a castle, isn't it? I might grab a smidge more with my fingers. So if it was me making it myself, I'd be using my fingers, and I like to do it this way. So spread it out. Okay, that's going to make a nice, delicious, sweet crust on the top of the cake. So Ben, let's pop that spoon down for me. Just there's fine. Now, open the oven. Now we're going to put it on the bottom rack because cakes take a little while to cook, and we don't want, Ben, you won't need to do that. Just grab your container's not hot yet. And we don't want our cake to burn, so we're going to pop it on the bottom rack. That's it. And be careful because the racks are hot. Push it in. Maybe push it in a smidge more. I'll help you with that because it's hot. There you go. And shut the door. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to wash my fingers. Raw sugar before I read the box. Let's see. How long does it say we have to cook this for? It says that we have to bake it for 55 to 60 minutes. So my clock says that it is nearly 25 past 1. Okay, 60 minutes would be an hour, which means that we'll go all the way around the clock one more time, and it would be then nearly 25 past 2. So I think Ben will check the cake when the big hen gets to the 12, and we might need to turn it around, and then we will check it again every 5 to 10 minutes after that to see if it's cooked. Okay, so now it's clean up time. We have to put all our mess away, get our kitchen clean, and we'll show you what the cake looks at the end. Good job, Ben.
Fun.